Hey yo, what's going on guys? We are back after a good restful weekend with another video of the Omega Smasher sports game, Omega Strikers. Today we're coming at you guys with a guide on Era, the shy little witch. Era is a very strong forward. She can cut off entire areas of the arena and force goalkeepers away from their goals, where you'll then be able to shoot the core into their goals for free. I found some of the best trainings to use on her in my personal opinion, and today I'm going to share that with you guys. So before we get going, only 1% of my viewers are subscribed, so if you've been enjoying watching the guides and would like to be notified when there are more, please do hit that subscribe button and feel free to click that notification bell. With that all said, let's get right into it. I'll start you guys off with Era's abilities, so I'm going to give you guys a few freeze frames of the abilities as I use them, alongside the ability description from within the game. So to start, I'll talk about her primary ability. This ability is called Bewitching Beam. It bewitches allies and enemies in a line. Enemies are hit with light damage and on top of that they're debuffed, reducing their size as well as their power. Your allies, however, are buffed, having their size and power increased. So they're going to be a bit bigger, be able to hit a bit harder. And this ability is cast in a line, so it'll hit anything that is within that line. It doesn't stop on the first enemy hit. So depending on what you want to do with it, make sure you try and get as many enemies or allies in the line in order to maximize the capabilities on this one. Next we have her secondary. This is called Flutterfly. This ability grants her nearby allies 40% haste that decays over 1.75 seconds. This ability will be cast in a radius, as you can see on the screen, and anyone within that radius will gain a haste buff. For those who don't quite know what haste buffs are in this game, these are speed buffs. So I know for many of us who play other games, haste is normally like something like cast speed or cooldown reduction. But in this game it is actually the speed of your character, so it can be confusing at times. And then finally we have her special. This is called Magic Maelstrom. This creates a dormant projectile that will gain size, duration and power the longer it stays dormant. So on recast or after a few seconds it will launch itself forward, hitting all enemies in its path. If it is released before full charge, it will deal light hits and it will be quite not as big as it could be. As you can see on the screen right now, this ability is cast in a line but will only start moving after you recast or leave it to charge for a while. Now let's move on to some of the combos that I've been playing around with on Era. So there aren't too many of them. We've got the first combo, which is pretty much standard, and I've mentioned it in a few videos before. This is the basic attack primary combo. This combo will mostly be used when you are one-on-one with the enemy keeper to push it past him when he hits it back at you. So like I said, this is a fairly standard combo for most strikers in the game, whether you're playing keeper or forward. And then the next and last combo that I've been playing with really is the basic special combo. So this is a tricky one to pull off, but to do this one you'll want to cast your special while the core is coming towards you in the direction that you want to send the core, right? So if you are midfield, the core is coming towards you from a teammate, cast your special towards the enemy goal. And then as it comes into your special, you basic attack it towards the enemy goal, and as it leaves the circle of your special, you'll press your special button again, which will then send your special forward in the line and it'll chase the core. So if the enemy goalkeeper then tries to hit it back or anything, it's going to push it back into him and hopefully push him along with the core over the edge. If it's done correctly, the enemies will never be able to stop this going in. And now for the trainings. So the first one I'll be picking up on area is extra special. This training is critical for us because we want an even lower cooldown on our already low cooldown special, so that we can get more harass off with it, more zoning off. We can zone the enemies to certain sides of the arena when we are trying to score goals. We can save goals if we need to, because this is a very strong ability for defense as well as offense. The next training I'll pick up is Cast to Last. This training will make the duration of our buffs on allies from our primary and secondary last much longer, and it'll also increase the duration of the debuff on our opponents from our primary ability, which is also great. And then finally I've found that crossover is the best one to go on the green tree. I have tried a few of them, and the haste you gain from striking the core was just way too good to be given up. In saying that, you could go stacks on stacks because that'll also give you haste. However, it's very situational, so you'll only really want to take stacks on stacks when you are against comps that aren't going to be knocking you out of the arena easily. So if it's against like a Juliet and an X, you might just be better off taking crossover, because definitely, if they're playing correctly, they're going to be aggressive on you. They're going to try force you off the edge, and in turn you are going to lose your stacks. Now onto some gameplay tips and tricks that I've found for Era. So the first tip I can give you is to not be shy to use your abilities on Era, especially your secondary. This haste buff can be the difference between the opponent scoring a goal or not. It can also be the difference between your teammates getting in position to shoot the core into the enemy goals. So it's a very critical buff that you have access to. You don't want to be sitting on its cooldown for too long. It does come back. It's a fairly short cooldown. You will have it up when you need it. I find holding it more often than not causes me to like go down a goal rather than having to ever being able to use it. So I'd sooner get scored on than me actually using the ability when I was trying to hold on to it. The next tip I can give you is to always use your debuff from your primary on enemies that are trying to skirmish with your friends. So say for example an X is trying to harass your goalkeeper, just go hit him with your primary. It's not going to do a lot of damage, you're not going to send him off the edge or anything, but you are going to significantly reduce his damage. And in turn this will save your friends from being knocked off the edge, save your goalkeeper from being knocked off the edge, and in turn saves you from going into a 2v3 panic situation. And now a tip related to her special. So whenever I play against Era, I often see them sending their special straight towards goals from wherever they are casting it. This kind of makes it very easy to read, and what I've found is that when sending it at a weird angle, you can often force people to play into it by accident, and this will make them take 3 damage from it, or even knock them off the edge of the map because they didn't read it or plan for the 3 hits they were going to take. So say you're at the bottom of the map in their half, don't aim it straight towards like the bottom of their goals, send it straight up towards the corner of their goals. Their goalkeeper's going to think, oh no, there's a Era special coming straight towards me, and he's going to move up to the top corner and it's going to slam him in the face, send him off the map and leave the goals wide open for your team. And now for the biggest tips I can give. If I'm honest, I didn't really enjoy my time playing Era. She's extremely strong if you enjoy playing a more kind of slow, passive, hit the core kind of game. My playstyle is more get in their face and damage them and knock them out so that we can push the core into the goals and win with less of them on the pitch. So that said, she has her place on the field. She can knock people out with well-timed and placed specials. She can save her allies with well-timed primary and secondary abilities, and ultimately she can fall back and defend the goals within a second due to her haste buff too. So the biggest tip I have for playing Era is related to her special. If you want to use it offensively, make sure you cast it from within the opponent's half, a little bit past the halfway line. Otherwise it will expire before it gets anywhere near their goals to force their goalkeeper away from it in order into a bad position. If you're trying to use it defensively, however, make sure you're using it in the right direction, such as towards where you suspect the core will go next. Otherwise the core could bounce off it awkwardly, and that will let opponents capitalize and score, and make it all your fault. Now that we've gone through the guide, I don't have much time, but I just want to give you guys a little breakdown of this play. So here you'll see me placing my special, trying to zone the goalkeeper, and it kind of works. You see, hit it past him. He couldn't really move there. If he hit the core, it was just going to hit straight back into my special. And here again, you see me rushing straight to the keeper, trying to zone him off, make him small. The smaller he is, the less damage he does to the core, meaning it doesn't fly as far. It also makes his radius smaller, so you see that red circle under his character. That becomes smaller, which means his basic attack is smaller, and in turn it makes it a little bit harder for him to block your shots.
Still on top.
And there you see a great, well-placed ult, or special rather, like I mentioned, from the bottom towards the top of his goals, and that forces him to guess where it's going. And that's going to be it for my guide on Hera. I do thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate the support you guys have been giving over the last couple of weeks. I'll be dropping a few more guides this week, so if you'd like to see those, be sure to hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.